streaming. I'm going to start streaming.
Go for it.
Before we say something that's hilarious again. Oh.
I mean,
now I'm sad that I haven't started streaming yet.
I figured I would jump on, finish what I need to finish in the dock, and then get on the call.
And then we already put my Twitter thing in.
Yeah. And I did that just now. Although it's funny, I had like 4. Yeah, I had 4. I narrowed it down. And I want to hear your thoughts about your Netflix pick, Gary. I really do. But don't say anything now.
Okay.
I know we're live and all, but don't say anything now. But I'm very curious because anyway.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but
Okay.
I know the play.
Okay.
I've known the play for many years. So
I have read that play. I just can't remember it.
And see, I did not know the play.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not read it. I have not seen it. And I wanted to give the viewing credit to having watched it because I saw people posting about it, and I had completely forgotten that I had briefly once read about how apparently I don't know if it's all, but like 10 of August Wilson's works are being made into films.
As possible.
And Denzel Washington is the one behind it. And so, interesting bit of trivia, Viola Davis went straight from filming Fences in Pittsburgh to filming Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the summer of 2019, I think it was, or 2018 when they made it.
Well, the film came out, Fences came out in 2016. Maybe this is wrong. Who knows? I'm looking at Google. Who knows what's going on here? But anyway, no, Fences came out in 2016. Interesting. Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm curious.
Because she did an interview and talked about how she went like from one to the other, and that they did film in the summer, and that she had to wear padding and so on and so forth. So
let's see. I wonder if they started filming a while back and then they changed their. I mean, just because it came out recently doesn't mean they didn't film it. Like,
it was supposed to go to theaters. The distribution changed. I know that much.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it came to Netflix.
So filming was done in 2019.
Hi, Owen.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm very curious about this. Okay, I have to. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. Okay, you need to move back over here, and then yeah. And hey, where are you at? There you are.
Okay. So nothing there.
Go here, and then I'm going to do this. Jump into YouTube's.
Why the fuck does there have to be 3 ads in Google now? 2 was enough.
Hey, you. Stay put.
Okay, so none of that changed. None of that seemed to change. Oh, that would be part of why. My computer's running slow. We got 3 more followers? Good gravy. Okay. Pretty sure I know what this is.
Oh shit.
What?
Got to change the art.
Hmm?
You said he forgot to change the art.
Oh, I thought you said you dropped the art or something. I was like, what? I was confused. Okay. Close that.
You forgot an M.
Hmm?
I'm fixing it. You forgot an M in your what's going on, or your link. Excuse me. I put it
Oh.
there.
Sorry, Owen. We were being quiet. Distracted.
Someone's eating.
Someone's trying to put a little something in her stomach before dinner.
Oh. Oh, no. I know. Whoosh, whoosh. It disappearing.
Or you can hear it. Oh. Better not. Wait. Okay. Oh well.
Like, how can
It's
I
okay.
make myself disappear?
Cute. Okay.
What? Sorry, I wasn't
I
paying
disappear.
attention.
I disappear because of my fan.
Oh.
It's his biggest fan.
So big it engulfs me.
Boo.
What was it? Yay. Okay, you're there. You're in there. And
Live chat, not the top chat.
oh, that's a cute picture. Cisco's husband? I think. Oh, you're not gonna see that. Fuck. There.
Yeah.
Wait. No.
Well,
Kinda looks like it. It kind of looks like it.
There we go. You can see him dancing in the screen. Oh, that's so weird. I don't know what to think of that, but I guess it
Bobby.
makes sense because it's the background and it's trying to catch the person. Like it looks for the human features, apparently.
something like that. Oh, I know what I was looking for. Damn it.
So I definitely have to watch that at some point. I'm a lot more hungry than I thought. I need to stop looking at Facebook because people are posting pictures of food, and I really don't need to see that right now. Which is weird because we had lunch at like 3 o'clock. And it wasn't like a little lunch, it was like Chipotle lunch. So,
Well, Chipotle is not necessarily completely filling.
well, I mean, the rice probably breaks down quicker, and that could be a problem. But I added like lettuce and the salsas and stuff to kind of give it a little bit more like oomph. But oh well, it's fine. Well, something's going on with Jeff.
Hmm? What do you mean?
When you were down, like the camera was like you pixelated a lot. Like I don't know if I'm. Oh, and Gary, are you wearing what I think you're wearing?
I think Gary is comfy.
The comfy thing.
I've been wearing it all damn day. I was gonna switch into something else for the podcast, and I was like, why bother? Not that I'm trying to demote the importance of the podcast, but I was like, I'm already.
You're comfortable, so might as well just stay comfortable and do the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of which,
shall we?
Yes.
I think we can.
All right. Sure. All right. All right. Here we go. And 3, and 2, and 1. It's December 27th, 2020. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me Gary.
Everyone else is thinking it, and I just say it.
And welcome to Comes Out Loud, the Bear Podcast with Determine the Lakes, episode number 583. And what better way to end the year than me actually doing the intro right?
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. A couple days out of that. And just to let you guys know, this is the last episode of the year. I just want to let you know. So we are taking a hiatus until next year, but we'll be back the first Sunday of next year, which just happens to be next Sunday. Anyways, let's find out this. I'm dreaming of a themed Christmas. The fact that all my Christmas, the fact that all my Christmas presents were themed because they were all involving cooking.
I
got a rice cooker for my sister. I got sheet pans with racks for my brother, and I got a set of silicone cooking utensils. All this was on my wish list, so I wanted all these. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We finished besides my Sunday D&D finished the Horde of the Dragon Queen module, and we're in the process of transitioning to the Rise of Tiamat module, which is the sequel. Which we did earlier today. You want to see that? Check out Bears and Dragons. There's a playlist on our thing, so if you want to watch it all. Wow. All 21 episodes.
There's a playlist on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Comes Out Loud.
Because of a lot of YouTube
let's get the
channels
promotion right.
there.
Like,
Sorry, I'm assuming that the people who are watching this live will be. I mean, that's the only down below, if anything. So, but yeah. Otherwise, same old, same old. That's it. Short, sweet, to the point. David.
okay. I titled this one "Holiday Hurrahs." So I've been talking about the Men's Chorus concert. We finally got it done. It did really well. It's still doing very well. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, go ahead and listen to it. It's available at YouTube. The Cincinnati Men's Chorus YouTube channel are on our website. Ding.
What's that website?
So far, CincinnatiMen'sChorus.org.
There you go.
CincinnatiMen'sChorus.org. Unfortunately, it is that long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all you need to, honestly, just figuring out Cincinnati is going to be the hard part.
Yeah. But anyway, we've been raising, it's the concert is free, but it is part of a fundraiser for us as well. And I looked earlier, I think yesterday. I haven't looked today. And I'm very curious to see if we've made the goal. We reached our original 2 goals. We've surpassed both of them. We're now at a 3rd goal, which is amazing. So I'm really happy about that. So hooray for that. Jim and I did our Christmas at home, and for his family, we did a Secret Santa gift exchange, which went really well considering we weren't doing it in person. And we, I think it went really well. I got, as I posted on my Facebook, with Jim's gift and the gift from my Secret Santa on his side of the family, I've gotten 3 D&D 5th edition books, which is really awesome because I like sometimes having the physical copy in my hand so I can look at stuff. And so I also kind of had a themed holiday or themed Christmas as well, because these are things that I did ask for. And then yesterday, my brother came to visit, and he was staying at a hotel because he wanted to, whatever. And we went and had dinner with him and exchanged our gifts with him and his wife and my mom. And then he gave us their gifts to us, which was a bunch of wonderful liquor. Jim got some Jim Beam. I got a really interesting rum that sounds delicious. So yeah, it's going to be a very fun and festive New Year, I should say. I'm going to probably crack that fucker open around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, because it sounds delicious.
What's it called?
Yeah,
that makes it sound delicious.
Bamboo. Ooh, let me look that name up before I say it wrong. It is Bamboo, Bumbu. But I'm gonna hopefully I can get here really quickly. Yes, the tasting notes say this. Sweet notes. It just jumped on me, fucker. There it is. Okay. Site's loading, and then so sweet notes of vanilla, caramel, and subtle oak on the nose. The flavor is decadent with notes of chocolate, banana, and baking spices such as cinnamon throughout the palate. The finish is smooth with light, sweet notes. It sounds good, and my brother loves it. He's had it before. He said he would actually drink it straight, which is odd for me for a rum, but I'll do it. I mean, yeah, it sounds good.
I like bum.
Yes.
Anyway.
Bum. So with regards to we missed the joke. We missed the joke entirely. So we are 3% away from our 3rd goal, the choruses, which was so very cool, very awesome. Yay. Gary?
I had said hours to go.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording this on December 27th. That means that there are 3 full days, right? No, 4 full days. 4 full days. And then we conclude what has been the experience of the year 2020.
True.
I do not know yet if that means people will be able to actually bookend their opinions about 2020. My concern is that things will carry over into next year and people will be just as frustrated for 2021.
Yeah. But if anything, we'll always look at this in hindsight.
True.
That's very true. Yes. So
Hindsight being
this
2020.
month,
No. Okay.
someone has something on its mind. This month, I'm trying to think what all happened this month. Work was very busy. Yeah, and then with the holiday coming up, I guess I'll talk about it because it's been announced. So this past week, actually, I'll go back 2 weeks ago. I had been notified that my dog daughter, Zoe, Jeff and Ronnie's four-legged baby. I had asked because she's been doing chemo treatments for the past couple of months, and was notified that her bounce back was not as good, and that they were a little concerned because she was getting slower. There were some behavior things, so they took her in. And unfortunately, last week they had to make the decision to say goodbye. So that was really kind of last week for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's been a thing. You just kind of work through that stuff. Just a lot of reflection and thinking about the responsibilities, and the commitments and the connection that you make and that kind of stuff. So that was a bummer to that. And they had made the decision to not say anything until after Christmas because, they were not wanting to, put a damper on people's Christmas, so to speak. So, but yeah, she was very, very, very special. Unique and extraordinary were kind of some ways that she was described because of her personality.
Yes.
She was adorable.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of those things, and I feel for them because I think there are some people out there that are possibly in this I don't know, in this state of can't catch a break for nothing.
Yeah.
You keep trying and trying and things aren't kind of lining up. The year was kind of crappy all around for a lot of folks. So you're like, what gives on that? So yeah.
2020 was I'll just say 2020 was a hell of a year. I think just to kind of really simplify it, a lot going on, a lot of. I know we'll probably do or maybe we will post a year in review, maybe possibly, but to kind of quickly do the small thing, it was a hell of a year. A lot happened, a lot going on, a lot of I think external and internal things, and because of situations, having to kind of pay attention to those things where, you know, if things had been the way they were in some ways, we might not have had to, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So, yeah. I know we'll probably have a year in review episode. Maybe we'll talk about it. Or we can really just, you know, fuck it. Like, let's just be honest.
I believe that's our next one.
Yeah.
Traditionally, we do our year in review beginning of the next year. So
year 2020, fuck it. Like, just.
I mean, we could, you know, just play a whole bunch of fart sounds and.
January, February.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Good night, kids.
Cue the ending music. And
Yeah.
It's scary.
So I mean, for me, you know, I mean, I spent the day at Christmas at home. Actually, I went for dinner over to the boys' house. Vince and Richie and Kyle had invited me because Vince was actually off for the first time in years on the holiday. Well, he's, you know, worked in emergency medical.
Yeah.
And so he actually was naturally off that day. And so he had contacted me late in the afternoon. He was like, "What are your plans for today?" I'm like, "I'm, you know, watching some movies, you know, diddling in the kitchen, making some different stuff, and, you know, washing dishes. I mean, just, you know, nothing really special." Also, there was a snowstorm happening outside, basically. Not a storm, like a lot of snow was falling. So he's like, "Well, apparently I made food for an army, so you're welcome to come over if you would like." So yeah, that's what I did. I went over and had dinner, and we sat and talked for a few hours, and then, you know, got out and cleaned off my car again, and carefully drove back home. Yeah, so you know, nobody was really planning on going anywhere or doing anything, which was to be expected. Like, the weather, I think, helped keep a lot of like travel and different stuff of that type thing down for us. So yeah,
probably a good thing.
So yeah, it's funny you guys are talking about like themed gifts. So I sort of had themed stuff. Jeff and Ronnie got me an 8-quart stock pot, but it comes with a metal strainer, like a removable metal liner strainer to it. I had been at their home earlier this year, and they have one. I think theirs is like a 10 or a 12 quart, and I really liked using it, and I commented on it. So what up?
Nice.
Yeah, and what else? Oh, Drew got me an enameled handcrafted like pottery mug. So yeah,
hey,
you know, nothing, you know, really big or extravagant. Oh, I finally picked up, not on Christmas, but previous to that, I got my Apple HomePod minis. HomePods, because I had ordered them way back at the beginning of November when they went on sale. And then they arrived when I was not home.
Of course they did.
Well, and I, you know, had contacted Vince and was like, "Hey, so packages are arriving today, apparently, that are supposed to arrive on Tuesday. I'm not home," and I was concerned about them getting up and walking away. Not that my neighborhood is a bad neighborhood, but it is the season when
'tis the
people
season.
are more inclined to take other people's stuff. Not cool. So anyways, he picked them up and they were at their home. So I just kind of kept going to work and coming home and like not really thinking about it or caring.
And now you had a chance to go over when. By the way, was the food that he made actually enough to feed an army?
I mean, army is the relative term.
But there was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there was more than enough for the four of us. In fact, it was funny because some went back for seconds, and then I don't know how else to say this. There was some Schadenfreude or whatever. The part of those that didn't go back for seconds, listening to the ones that did go back about their belly aching because they ate too much.
Womp womp.
Because we could have fed 8. Okay, there was enough food to feed 12 people, but everybody would have gotten like not quite a full plate. So, like, I mean, there was plenty, especially for the four of us. And so, yeah,
Fair.
It wasn't like meant to be for a big group. It was just somebody got a little carried away, apparently. So, yeah,
serving sizes are hard.
But you also have to factor in bareness.
Yes, I'm aware, but
So
again,
anyways, so we move into the feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gary, what's been going on over in the Facebook-ish land?
Over on Instagram, we got a series of followers, some of them just in the past couple days, because I was updating this list. So we would like to thank the following individuals for following us on Instagram: Fred Wusthoff, Griff1024, I know him, Garth_Jensen, know him, someone with the nick BoxCub_COL.
Really? Oh, I wonder who that could be.
I'm hoping it's not someone like posing as somebody else, because that shit gets real annoying.
That's
I kind of figured, but
I was like, wait a minute, did somebody take my name? And they go, oh no, that's what I used.
Yeah. PC Uncle Pete. So good friend of mine, previous guest of the pod. Back when we did an LTAS and we talked about food. Uncle Pete was on then. So that's his paper chef thing. The_Goshenauer. And the last one, Tags Bear, which Damon, you and I know Tags Bear.
Yes.
So
yes,
he does really nice line artwork,
geometric artwork. Yes, and just figure drawing and stuff too. But yeah,
I met him at Claw 3 years ago, I want to say. He was volunteering at the vlogging session I went to. But he was the person, that organizes, gives out the feedback survey, like that volunteer role, not right.
Okay.
Right.
So bad as I'm doing this. I'm like, anyway.
No, it's all right. So we chatted because I'd seen him around before, and he's a cutie, and he was telling me about this thing that he was doing with the growler pick artwork stuff that I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's how we met. But so there's that. Nothing really to say per se over on Facebook.
Proper. Damon?
So we got several comments on our episode 580, which was the sides. Let's talk about sex sides episode. So from Owen, we received the comment of, I'm going to have to look up that Facebook group. Interesting conversation. I've never really been interested in penetration myself. What are you? Sidedness? Oh gosh. Oh, I hope we get to a point where someone asks me this question. Nice. And then we got some comments from Din Din. Hello, Din Din. And it says, the way I be having conversations, and it has I'm a Gemini, and then it has it flashed out. So I kind of just want to the way I be having conversations and shading y'all, I need to catch y'all live. I might be side puss OMG, yeah. It was a very interesting topic, and I think it kind of shed some light on things that you might, you yourself might be found your title, your
Oh my God,
new
I
word.
am a side.
Yeah. And then from Rangers King 669, it says, just for reference, the H word is considered a slur for intersex people. Just letting you all know. Great show. And then Owen responded, huh, I didn't know that. Yes. It can be. That's one of the reasons why like we start using the word intersex now. I think Gary, you were talking about it from when you first found out about it.
I was, but I want to own that like this was an educational opportunity for me because I don't know individuals who are, and just like as individuals have been learning about, the trans community, so to speak, I, and other groupings, I didn't know that the word had been replaced, so to speak, and that there was a reference within probably about a week of us doing that show. I saw on Twitter, at my work Twitter, I should say, because that one is specific to the work I do with HIV. I follow a lot of different Twitter accounts and LGBTQ like causes and things of that nature. And someone had posted, and now that I think about it, I really wish I'd saved it for the show, a great graphic, and it showed all the old terms and all the like current terms, like how things had been replaced. So like we don't say transvestite. And in amongst them was hermaphrodite, which is the word I used. Now, when Rangerskin 669 had submitted this comment, I saw the notification come through, and it didn't click. I was like, H word. I was like, what H word? And it took me a while to like put the puzzle back together. It didn't come right away in the moment. So I thank Rangers King 669 for submitting the comment and kind of pointing that out, because it is true, and I think it just goes to show like there's always things to learn. And I didn't realize that in the moment that I had said that, I wasn't trying to be disparaging or crude or anything. It was just, it was the last thing I had known of, and while I had heard of intersex, I never made that connection, I guess, or like paid attention to what that was. So it was a good point that someone made that pointed that out for us, and I appreciate it very much, because I was like, no one had said it, I probably would have gone on to being an ignorant ass, and just kept saying stuff that I wasn't supposed to or shouldn't, preferably.
Yeah.
So
well, and now we know.
Not something we commonly talk about here either. So
yeah,
I don't think it's discussed very much at all. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of more the issue for folks is, and that's, I mean, it's interesting that it also came about in the side show. A topic area that I think is new-ish for folks. I did end up joining that Facebook group pretty much on the daily. There are people finding it and joining it for various reasons. And the background is pretty wide in terms of like the types of people, generationally and some other stuff. And so there are folks that are joining that I think are, I don't want to say it's like going to be a revolution or anything, but I will say that I think when you have the discussion with men, with MSM, about this idea, that there may be more that, I don't want to say more to it, but I think there may be more individuals that are like, oh, I didn't realize this was an option. And I think that's really key for like, people claiming and owning themselves and their identity to say, you know what, like, I'm not really kind of down with that. Like, that's not my gig. And there's nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we had the discussion back in the show about, like, some people are into nipple play, other people are not. And it's more, I think, about like, as we said then, to ask the question, what is it that you enjoy? What are you into? And
the new abbreviation should be TBVS, top, bottom, versus side, ? Would they slash between them?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like we said, maybe back in the episode, I think I kind of made a reference, like, if you are going to solely focus on sex and the end goal is to have an orgasm, then I think the labeling becomes like paramount, like it becomes a necessity, because whoever the one is that like wants to, have the orgasm, kind of probably wants to know the lay of the land, like what is the possibility of what will happen.
Yeah, and the thing is actually in my Gamer Bears Discord that I'm a part of, there's been a conversation about position fluidity, which I think is something which I don't think anybody's really thought about, but I think is pretty much just a general thing for everybody. Everybody I think is at least somewhat positionally fluid, in the fact that sometimes you feel like a top, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
It's fair.
In the end, you still get a nut, but sometimes you feel like a bottom, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you just don't feel like either. It's one of those things where it's just, what is it at the moment, and having all those labels just for like, this is where I want to be now. Isn't I primarily this, but I could be this and that. So,
yeah.
I just think everything is a little more fluid than people think. Actually, almost everything is pretty much fluid, anyways. But that's beside the point. All right, moving on. We've got a couple new Twitter followers. We got Bobby Bear 2300, Leather Lover NE, AWQ_Owen, and we were tagged by Fish Fluff saying, that comes out loud, this is Din Din Mushi calling honorable panel members for an emergency meeting regarding Pornhub's latest fuckery. You're welcome. We did that last week.
Well, that's why
that was on December 15th, before we actually did our show,
right?
Last week, which covered it. So, you're welcome, didn't it? Speaking of shows, Gary, give us a review of the recent shows this month.
So our last What's Going On was 579 when we talked about the month of November. And then we had the infamous 580, Let's Talk About Sex Sides. And then we did on 581, we did our favorite things 2020. So we kind of talked about like things that were recommendations to other folks that we particularly endorse or care for. And then last week, yes, we discussed in 582, it was titled Rest in Peace, Xtube/Pornhub ? And the reason, like the question mark, is I don't think it's definitive yet if people are just going to abandon those online location platforms. But I will say this, the emotions of the changes that took place have not diminished per se or gone away.
I also think because of the season and because of some of the notes I saw about, like, we did this and we're gonna do some things to help smooth things over, but not until next year, which doesn't help.
Yeah. Well, and my feeling on it is, do you know how many millions of people are trying to get through the pandemic and are trying to stay socially distant at home by themselves, having personal moments?
Personal moments.
Well, I'm presuming personal moments. I mean, they could be shared moments. I don't know.
People didn't see it, but I did have X Hamster behind me in our Skype chat. Which is
Chatterbait is another thing.
Which, as far as I could tell, was not affected. at all.
Yeah, I don't
by
believe
this.
so. But
Mainly because they're a completely separate company. They're not affiliated.
Mm-hmm.
The only familiarity is that they also have porn and they have an X in the name. That's about it. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Mass
So that
exodus
was-
from Pornhub and XTube over to Xhamster.
We'll see. I know some people have decided to move their things under paid sites, like just for fans and OnlyFans. Others have.
Yeah, like David, someone that we don't know personally, we might want to know, has talked about. They're over on the West Coast. They
Yeah.
put on a big event. Used to.
Mhm.
Corona. Anyways, sorry, COVID is what I should say. Anyways, they said they basically took their entire catalog and put it on OnlyFans,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it basically, said, if you would like to see more of this, I don't know what it is. It's like $6.99 a month, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just a quick thing before we move on, and maybe this is a whole topic to come. Prior to the pandemic, I had one opinion about OnlyFans, just for fans, those type of sites.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've reached the end of 2020, and dealing with the coronavirus pandemic, I have a different attitude about OnlyFans and just for fans, those sites. Yeah.
That's another show.
I mean, it could be. I have a
It could
feeling
be.
if I want to make my statement that this could lead into a whole conversation.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So let's not.
Okay.
Should we just
Well-
like that? But that's another show.
But that's another show.
That's another
yeah,
show.
we might as well.
Dude, we'll just call that. That's another show.
To be determined.
Shall we?
To be determined. TBD.
All right. With that,
Because I have some opinions too. So there.
yeah.
All right.
On the calendar, Gary. Anyways, let's move into this. There we go. Enough of that. Time
Enough of
to tweet with our Twitter posts. Mine is find a man who does this, and it's a video, and it's of a guy who's fucking a guy, and then he pulls out to bend over and suck the guy, and kind of bounces back, and I'm like, oh,
Okay,
that's
wait,
sweet.
what?
I know. I gotta see this.
Hold on.
So he's fucking the
So-
guy, and then he pulls
Yes,
out, bends
to suck
forward,
him.
and sucks at the guy, and then goes back in.
So find a guy who will do both. Is that what we're saying? Or at the during in
Yeah, like it kind of does the
Like,
alternate.
in-
It says
in-
just fucking you, like has this like mixture of fucking and sucking.
So
There is a
okay.
reply to this where somebody says, or find somebody who can do this, and it's basically a twink fucking somebody else as well as sucking at the exact same time, which is probably even better. The only problem is with most of the guys that I would want to be fucking me, I would all and sucking me would have too big of a belly to be able to bend like that and do it. They wouldn't be able to torsion like that unless they were really skinny, and it's just not my jam. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say my favorite reply in the thread is easier said than done.
Yeah. Fact.
Which is essentially what I'm saying.
I mean, that one, yes. The doing that at the same time, I mean, depending on the sizes of certain people, like it could be possible, but
It's
after
called
a certain point,
flexibility.
yeah,
Yes.
it could be done. It can be done. It's just going to take the right like physics, math. I don't know.
But I actually find it extremely hot seeing the one guy kind of like do the alternation, you know, fuck for a little bit and then suck a little bit, then fuck a little bit, suck a little bit. Obviously, it's looping, so it's not exactly the whole thing, but basically gives you more attention instead of just like fucking and jerking you. It also giving you a blowjob as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
The top treat you right, and for you tops, hey, this might help you out a bit.
Challenge has been thrown down, apparently.
Challenge accepted, apparently.
I mean, that's my thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Good times with the fucking. All right.
Damon, what do you got?
I titled mine "Tis the Season," and it is from Jersey Rugger. And oh wait, this is the wrong one. Fuck you. No, well, this is fine. I'll use this one. It's fine. It's fine. It'll do it.
You could do
so
both.
It's not called "Tis the Season." I'd have to find the other one, and I lost where it was. But this one's fine. It's fine. Whatever. This one is called Merry Thickmas. I'm going to have to change the title. And it is from Jersey Rugger, and it's a very beefy man in his red and green, bearded and beautiful. So, yes. Yeah. All thick and stuff. I'd have to see if I can find it. I don't even know if I can find it at this point. Because, of course, I was putting them on a notepad, and I just deleted the notepad. Well. Anywho. So that's that. If I can find it, I will see if I can find it. But I'm not gonna waste the time.
Anyway,
what was the image?
It was one of mine. It was a guy in the snow. Not one of mine, but it was a guy in like the snow. It's one of these ones. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find it. Continue. Go ahead, Gary. Or talk about mine. Talk about this one because I do like it. I mean, it is a hot guy.
No, I agree. Like, did said in the live chat, or no, sorry, Oda said in the live chat. Oh God, those arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
By the way, you spelled it wrong. That should be 2 C's, not a C and a K.
Right.
Din said, yes, Damon, we stand. So
yes, he's a sexy man, and I am a big fan of his so very much. Oh God, I think I'm close to finding it. This is what happens when you like post a bunch of shit on your Twitter.
But are you getting close?
I think so. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
I'm busy scrolling through his
My
media
feed.
post images. Well, I mean, it's good stuff to look at.
There it is.
Oh. Well, that's an
found
eggplant.
Here we go. Hold on. Let's just do this real quick. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Oh, and he was part of Arrested Movement.
Oh, the big guy?
Or Merry Thickmas?
Yeah, Jersey Rugger 10. He was part of the Arrested Movement body positive thing. He back on July 9th said, "Thank you, Anthony P. Maneri, and for making me feel so comfortable and showing me that I have no reason to be ashamed of my body."
Nice.
Yeah.
So I did finally find the other one, which was the actual one called "Tis the Season," and it is from Pull My Beard at Pull My Beard. And it says "'Tis the season?" ? And it says I took this pic just for the knee sleeves and wrist wraps, but y'all can have it. And it is a very sexy man in snow with nothing on but the aforementioned knee sleeves and wrist wraps and tennis shoes and a Santa hat and a strategically placed bow. Yeah. And he's gorgeous. I'm gonna have to
Just add it to the doc. We'll have two of them.
I did
Okay.
add it. Just have to edit
Just-
I'm gonna edit the first
Like
link.
wording.
Um,
You guys- While he's doing that, Gary, what do you got?
The title of mine is Winter's Lullaby. It's probably not as exciting, per se, or titillating, but I really love this artwork. So it's Nox Saturn, but it's NOXSATVRN. And it's an ink, watercolor, and acrylic on paper for this winter. So it has this kind of pan character, but done as a beefy bear, with a winterscape around a couple of snow owls. There's a chipmunk, a cardinal, and two chipmunks, and an uncut peen. And it's just really beautiful. I like how it's evocative of like kind of like the old gods, and you know, if you're a person who is affiliated with or interested in the like earthbound spiritualities, Wiccan, paganism, and so on and so forth. Like, yeah. So, and I've seen this kind of stuff done before, but honestly, I've mostly, if I recall correctly, I think it's always been women. So I was just like, oh, well, hello. Like, that's very nice.
Oh, he just got some that there's another post, if you look at it, that kind of gets really close up on some things.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Wow. That's really pretty. I like that. I like it a lot, actually. I think it's yeah, like the winter and it's leaning up against the tree, it looks like. Yeah. Oh.
It's like
Very good details. Yeah. It's very, very nice.
very nice.
So so that was my Twitter pick this month, because I was like, it's evocative, you know, it's tasteful art. Some might still want to try to classify it as erotica, but I think, you know, there's
very much art.
Yeah, there's definitely a line. I'm reading through all the comment threads, and people are like, you know, very much in support. I love it. Can I get Christmas cards like this? They did reply. The artist said, "I don't make cards yet at the moment." And like, I'm saying hint. Like, the artist is probably well aware, made a note, like, you know, something to consider for, you know, future revenue stream. Oh, someone said they'd like it as a tattoo. I could see that.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
That would be a pretty intricate tattoo.
Hey, if you're
don't
willing
have
to get
it,
that
I'm
done,
just saying it's going to be intricate.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
All right, moving on into the links. Guys, tell me what you found on streaming services this month. I got nothing. So. I noticed I didn't say one specific because I noticed there's a link that's not on that service. So I broadly said streaming services.
Right.
Damon?
Yes. So a friend of mine on Facebook actually pointed this out to me, and it's called Canvas, and it's on Netflix. It is a very short animated movie, and I don't. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but it's a very touching story, and it in its length, it gives you enough of what's going on to kind of put the pieces together to kind of understand just how fun and beautiful this story
So
is.
you're saying it's an animated short?
Yeah, animated short. Um, um, Now the thing was that people were saying that it wasn't getting a lot of. It dropped on the Netflix, and there wasn't a lot of notification about it. It does have
Wasn't getting
a
promotion.
African promotion. That's what I was looking for. It does have African American like faces and features. I don't know everything behind it. I don't know if African Americans wrote it or what have you, but it just one of the reasons that I heard about it was because that people were saying that it was not getting enough. It wasn't getting any promotion. But it is also a short, feature that was presented on a Netflix that has like tons and tons of content. So, but I think it's worth a watch if you have, 9 minutes to just look at it. It's good.
Check it out.
Okay, Power Family from the mind of Frank E. Abney III. There we go. That helps.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it before, so it'd be something to check out.
He is an African American. There we go. There we go. So there you go. So go check it out. Gary.
Similarly, question mark. I had seen a fair number of people that I was aware of sharing that Netflix had released Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which I knew was based on a real person. I was minimally aware that Ma Rainey was a person, and was kind of considered had something affiliation to do with the blues. And I knew that Viola Davis was in the title role, so I was down for it because that woman can like ugly cry like no one I've ever seen. She is like full bore atomic level like acting in practically any role she's ever had, I think. And I only learned of Viola honestly through How to Get Away with Murder, which is odd because she's had a decent career. Decent isn't the right word. Like she's comes from the stage and has done a lot of roles and been in a lot of film and television. So I don't know. I kind of slept on her weirdly somehow. But anyways, so I wanted to watch this, and then I learned from watching it that it is one of I think 10 films that are being made based on August Wilson plays. And I don't think I've ever seen any August Wilson plays. So I was interested to see this from like kind of a couple different perspectives. And I want people to go watch it because there's some really poignant statements made through the film that were made through the play. And she's a real powerhouse to watch. When it was done, so this is David, where you said in pre-show you wanted to kind of know how I felt about it. If you know that it's a movie of a play, some things will make more sense. Because the one thing they did not do was try to, I guess I want to say, movify it. I don't know what the right word is. So it is definitively on a real location. So it's not like you're watching a film of a stage production. But some of the things that happen do seem a little odd. And by odd, I mean, like, if you're a person who watches movies, you might be like, I don't understand why it's kind of being shot the way it is, or why the transitions are kind of happening the way they do. There's something that happens at the end of the film that just really kind of confused me a little bit, but that's because I was like, I don't think it needed to go there. But then in my brain, I was like, oh, but this is based on, like,
a play.
It's based on a person. So I'm thinking there's a real biography behind all of this. So then I went on Wikipedia and whatever, and I read up on things, and I kind of timelined, like, figured out when this film takes place in Ma Rainey's life and some other aspects. So I think that August Wilson took a little bit of liberty with some stuff.
Possibly.
In writing the play, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you were a person who was going into it for historical context, to be like, again, everything that is told in the present about the past will always be probably somewhat wrong, whether it's 5% wrong or a larger percentage, because you just weren't there.
Yeah.
So, so I really liked it and enjoyed it. I can't remember what the context is, but it was supposed to go, I thought it was supposed to get released in theaters. Denzel Washington is attached. I believe he's the one that's gotten the 10-picture deal. And if I recall correctly, it's all August Wilson plays that are being brought to film. Fences is the other one that he and Viola Davis were in, which I have yet to see. But, it's on my list. I'm going to get to it, obviously, after seeing this. And I think because of the pandemic, they pivoted. I think that was part of the move and why they brought it over to Netflix. So, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I appreciate that it's contextually, like, within the story of, like, one day. So you're really kind of I don't want to say that time is stretched, but things are very different when you watch something that's more like real time than, like, most conventional entertainment is, like, people go to bed and they wake up the next morning and like, there's a passage of time. This is different. This is like a hot summer day in Chicago, and a lot of stuff happens in the course of, like, a day.
And
so
August Wilson's plays are referred to as the Pittsburgh cycle,
or the century cycle.
No, and he's basically he was referred to as the theater's poet of Black America. He died in 2005 at the age of 60 in Seattle, but he was originally born in Pittsburgh, which is probably why it's Pittsburgh cycle. And I just remember in theater classes, and even just English classes in high school, maybe even earlier. I think we read Fences, and I remember Ma Rainey's Black Bottom being mentioned. I don't remember if I actually read it originally, but really, really great. Two of his plays received the Pittsburgh or Pulitzer Prize for drama, and two others won the Tony Award for Best Play. And after his death in 2006, Wilson was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame. So he really is an important part of Black American as well as American culture, especially in theater. So I'm really happy that Denzel is taking on to this and trying to get the full thing adapted to films to get that broader audience, because all I remember is I love these plays. So
yay. One of the things I did first, one of my first few years here in the city, a friend of mine started a small company. It didn't last long, but one of her main goals when she first started it was she wanted to read. We did stage readings of all of his plays, all 10 of the plays in the Century Cycle, in order. Not on the same day, mind you. That would no.
In
That would just take
chronological
forever.
order or order they were written?
Chronological order.
Mm.
Chronological order.
Mm.
And the idea being, they were stage readings. They weren't like full on productions, mind you. This was all just kind of.
Right.
She had some actor friends, and we all came together and we read some of the plays in different spaces here in town. And the main goal was to, like you were saying, Jeff, to bring awareness of these plays. Other theater companies here in towns after that have since done productions of some of the plays. I know the most recent one was Jitney, that was done at our larger like theater, the Playhouse in the Park. So it was very well done. So yeah, they're good plays. So I highly recommend, like Gary was saying, to watch this movie. I'm very curious. I will probably sit down and watch it at some point because I want to see what you're talking about, because I actually read a part in this play specifically. So
Do you remember which one you read?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I was trying to look at the list of the cast and characters, and I don't remember the name. He may not be. Oh, I was Sylvester. I was Maud's nephew.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
small- yeah,
Right.
It was a smaller part. But it took me a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, very interesting to see, and also to see what you're talking about from it feels like while it's a movie, it kind of feels like it might be a play adaptation. So I'm curious about that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I have a second pick for folks that are interested over on Hulu. So if you're interested or aware of RuPaul's Drag Race, two queens from previous seasons, Jinx Monsoon and Benta La Creme, have for about 3 or 4 years now been putting on a holiday show of some kind that features the two of them. Normally, at this time of year, they would be traveling on tour, and they would be producing the show and going to theaters in different cities and perhaps, out of the country. But there's this thing called COVID and a pandemic. So Dela and Jinx joined together and decided to make a film. And Dela is kind of considered the creator, producer, and Dela has stayed pretty true to her theatrical background and roots. Both of them come from that. And Jinx and Major Scales have been doing a lot of touring prior to COVID with a variety, not a variety show, but like a vaudevillian kind of like song and a little bit of dance here and there stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're really two peas in a pod. And Benda La Creme is a very Varla Jean Merman is who she looks up to. So she has that kind of like campy, quirky, obnoxious, like bubbly kind of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're quite the foil to each other because Jinx has come into her Wiccanism.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came together and did this, what they call the Jinx and Dela holiday special. So here's the big thing about it, though. They wrote, produced, and filmed this entire movie. Like, it's a movie, and it's meant to be in the old Hollywood heyday celebrity holiday shows. So, like, Dean Martin, Judy Garland, the Sonny and Cher show, like, these old, what we
The
now
Bob
consider
Hope
old
specials.
Hollywood. Right. So like you sort of have guests. There's these little montages, but there's like one set. It's kind of like you're in a home, but it's not a real home. It's so they took all these elements and they blended them together and they wrote a bunch of songs and they did all this thing. And then Jinx and Dayla are guest stars, or in a film called I can't remember what it's called now, Holiday something, that's on Hulu. And because of their experience with that, lo and behold, Dayla signed a contract with Hulu to take their film that was going to be VOD through their website and distribute it through Hulu. So it's the first time that a drag queen signed such a major deal with a streaming service, specifically for Hulu. And so I was really quite happy and pleased for her. And, of course, Vendela was like, this is insane. Like, who does this? Like, like takes their passion, produces an entire thing. Like, they made the film. They did all this work. They were going to release it themselves through the website, and have people, pay per view to get it through the website to watch it, kind of a thing. And they were approached by Hulu. And so I will tell you this.
I'm sure they were
I watched
paid a penny.
I would hope that they were properly compensated. I will say this. It is a drag musical holiday movie. I am honestly surprised Hulu signed on to this, because it is adult in some moments. Like, it is drag. It is there is a naked man on set who they pixelate. There is references about sex. There are a whole series of musical numbers. There is some really body things said and done.
The Hulu,
I gotta go back.
The Hulu description: drag queens, sentient eggnog, song and dance, a naked man. Hold on to your sugar plums and get ready for a holiday drag spectacular that's as magical as a flying reindeer and as unexpected as a virgin birth.
Yes. Puns abound.
There you go.
Yes.
Puns.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
It's
Dad.
It's something else. I found it quite hysterical, and I will admit I was shocked pleasantly at times, because in my brain I kept going, "This is on Hulu." I was like, all I kept thinking is like, did they watch this before they signed the deal? Like, yeah, it is very fun. And Bendela and Jinx have been doing a lot of promotions for the film that they were in, and also for their own film on Hulu. So yeah, it was good. I was pleasantly surprised by it and pleased. So yeah. So if you're into that and you kind of want to see something that's like, fun yet goofy and all that jazz, then I hope you enjoy.
I watched it.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I've watched it, and I am in total agreement with Gary that it's like, this is on Hulu. Really? Like,
why would it be on Hulu? I don't understand this. This means it's definitely not going to Disney Plus. I mean,
fair.
Disney doesn't own the entire thing of Hulu, just the majority.
Fair. It just seems. I mean, I get it. Like, if I had to pay to see this, gone through like their site, I don't know if I would have. I will own that myself. But seeing it and watching it, I'm like, it's good. It's funny. It gets the point across, but it's very, like, I'll say it. It gets crude at points, and not that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it is not what you would expect, like a streaming service to sign up for. But I also think that maybe they would, if that makes sense. Like, it's something to, like, it's popular. They're popular. They were gonna, probably make some money on it on their own. and now it's now on Hulu, which brings it to a bigger audience per se.
Right.
So
I
Yeah.
think, I mean, it
I
is
think that's part of it.
definitively kitschy. It's campy. It's also bawdy,
mhm.
and really pokes fun at Christmas themes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to me, it is true and classic to these two drag queens. But I will say this as well. There were some really good parts of it, and there were some others where I was like, I kind of wish this had been refined. Like, just,
Mhm.
had some tweaks and some other stuff. I feel like, in a way, it's gonna be a horrible thing to say, they sipped their own eggnog too much. Like, they were having a lot of fun making it, and I'm like, I don't know if that was really necessary. And the other thing, like, it's not bad by any means. Like, it was definitely fun.
It has its moments.
But they
does.
they poke fun at and/or holes in some of the religious aspects of the season. So if you are sensitive to those things, you may not want to watch this.
Mm-hmm. Very
'Cause-
true.
I mean, that's why I was trying to say, like, it's drag queens, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like, if you wanted to, if you go into it not knowing that, or kind of ignoring like what a drag show can be like, and what to expect out of drag queens, then, well, yeah.
This is not a holiday spirit lifting like movie. This is not your Lifetime, your Hallmark, like, touchy feely movie. This is not that. While it may have those moments, it is not that.
It sounds like it's a comedy, a variety show, a holiday themed variety show.
Something like that.
Yes.
It involving drag queens, so you know that it's going to be kind of wacky.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think that sounds like the end. Am I right?
Mhm.
Okay, just confirming it with everybody in case there's something else. Plenty of ways to contact us. Pop over to our website, comesoutloud.com. Shoot us an email at comesoutloud@gmail.com. Shoot us a voicemail at 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Comes Out Loud. In the appropriate place of the URL, you can pop over to our Entourage chat where Owen is posting all these links, which are also will be posted on our website at Comes Out Loud or tinyurl.com/telegram-COL. You can subscribe to our calendar at tinyurl.com/calendar-COL so you can see when we're planning on streaming these shows so you can join us live. You can find various merchandise accoutrements such as a Cubs Out Loud shirt, a Consent is My Foreplay shirt. Sorry we don't have any comfy styles, but that's because Zazzle doesn't offer those. You're just commenting on what people are wearing, that's all.
I'm
but
loving
you can
how
find
I disappear as I turn up. Yes.
But you can find a whole bunch of different things over at Zazzle.com/Comes Out Loud. Don't forget they also have other countries, so you can get better shipping if you're not in the US. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. Shoot us some cash at paypal.me/CubsOutLoud if you just want to send us some money directly for some reason. You can subscribe to us and rate us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us at Google Play Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon, and Audible. You can find me anywhere in the internet at Box Puppy, Box Cub, Box Tech, Box something or other, and Windgem, WYNDGEM, over on Twitch, where I've been streaming some WoW, as well as the live stream of Bears and Dragons, which happened earlier on the same day that we record these shows. You can see me for like 6 hours a day, all on Sunday. Actually, it was only like 3 and something earlier because we have a problem where some people are engaged. I have a similar problem that I have for the show that I do with my D&D game. Anyways, that's me. Damon?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79 on most bear-related sites or on Facebook. Or you can find me as pup_Umbra on Twitter.
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as GareBear73.
And with that, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Ciao for now.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
I just realized that running the show is very much like running my the old Rocket Report over in at my high school, where we had a TV thing with the whole like board to switch and the audio sounds, play videos.
Okay.
It was like our internal news, school news, and announcements that we had professional video cameras for.
Nice.
What in the... Your image stuff looks goofy, Jeff.
I'm not surprised.
You're black and white.
Well,
Oh, really?
it's kind of like sepia tone, and then over on my right side, looking at it, there's like this red splotchiness or something. Oh, and it's still there, even though you took the background out. It's this weird effect.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. It's all you.
Or I'm just seeing you in black and white. Like everything is in black and white.
Yeah, your whole feed is black and white. Like
I don't know.
it wasn't that way in the like stream.
I don't know. It looks fine to me. Skype being Skype. I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know, Dindin says we need to retire that intro and outro music. Sadly, I need replacements for it. That's DRM copyright or not copyrighted music, and it has to have a nice little intro that I can loop so that I can talk over it for the teaser for the podcast, which I can then have it smoothly go into the actual intro song, which I've been able to successfully do for this one. So I don't have anything to retire that to. So
Yeah.
You're kind of
If
going to
you
have to
have some
stick with it.
connections, let us know.
Because I just need
So
something that I can easily loop, and then I can essentially at the end of the loop goes right into the beginning of the actual song, nice and smoothly. I could just click it right there because that's how the teaser works.
Music makes the people come together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen so you can see what we're
And
talking
the
about, Jeff.
bourgeoisie and the rebel. I mean, it's not going to really make much difference. Oh, yeah, I'm totally black and white.
Yeah,
I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, it's no big deal because apparently it wasn't your camera, and on the other stream you could, but that's kind of what we're seeing.
Right, on my
So-
end, as long as my end is fine. Hold on, before you do that. Well,
fuck.
or not.
Here we go.
Tell me something. I'm gonna do a quick little.
Well, now it
There we go.
stopped.
Well, he stopped the video, I'm assuming.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.